But last week Walter said was here for Star Trek V, but we talked about all the other films. He said Star Trek IV was his favorite because he got his own music and everything. So, is it fair to say this is your favorite film? And if so, why is it your favorite film?
You mentioned Walter last week. I did see that on the internet, and bravo, it was a good conversation that you had with Walter.
Thank you.
And it takes a good moderator to get things out of Walter. So bravo. Yes, let's give Walter and Tony a hand. Well, I have three favorites. Star Trek II, Star Trek IV, and Star Trek VI. See, I believe in having a lot of favorites because then I embrace more and more people's favorites. But my most favorite is this one, Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. Because I think it has all of the things that Star Trek is about. It's rip snorting good space opera, but it's also got that substantial message. But it's not a message. It's presented entertainingly, with suspense, with action, with heroic sacrifice sometimes, heroic deeds, boldly going, and it is relevant beyond just its time. The real situation that it's based on is the beginning of the ending of the Cold War, and also the discovery that militarists are militarists, and they have, whether they're on our side or their side, it's a very difficult transition for militarists to adjust to a more diplomatic age. We haven't reached that point yet, even today. We're still engaged in another war, and how we're going to resolve that, we don't know. But it's my favorite because also what I had been lobbying for, that we've been talking about, finally was achieved, and to be, like Walter enjoyed 4 because he had something substantial to do. Well, in this case, Captain Sulu was central to the story. In fact, and this is something I've shared at Star Trek conventions, it hits all of the 3 major elements of drama, from the beginning, the middle, or the climax, and the end. At the beginning, you begin with Captain Sulu in his big, powerful seat, and he's confidently sipping that cup of tea. When the drama begins with the explosion of Praxis and the waves coming at the ship, so that's the beginning. And then at the crucial, critical moment in the drama, when our Captain Kirk is about to be blown away to smithereens by the Klingons, Captain Chang is about to get the best of Captain Kirk. Out of the darkened galaxy sky comes Captain Sulu to the rescue. And he says, target that explosion and fire, and blast the Klingons to smithereens, thus saving the day for Captain Kirk. And then the classic ending of all Star Trek films, on the bridge of the Enterprise. And there's that giant view screen and that giant image of Captain Sulu. And Kirk gets up from his chair and goes up to it and essentially says, "Thank you, Captain Sulu, for saving my ass." And Captain Sulu benignly looks down and says, "Good to see you in action. One more time, Captain." And then he roars off. And you see everybody, admiring that magnificent ship going off into the galaxy. And McCoy says, "By God, that's a big ship." And Scotty chimes in with a twinkle in his eyes. "Aye, but not so big as that captain, I think." That's a captain. Captain Sulu movie. The real subtitle for Star Trek VI should not be The Undiscovered Country. You know, how pompously could that? I mean, quoting Shakespeare again, you know, from the To Be or Not To Be speech, you know. It really should be Captain Sulu to the rescue. Don't you think?
Now, later in the decade, actually, there was a move by one of the fan clubs, and you endorsed for the idea of a Captain Sulu TV series to follow Voyager. Did that go any further than fan discussions? Had you talked to any producers? Were there any discussions with Paramount specifically, any meetings for that, or is it just something you hoped happened?
Well, the initiative really started with Paramount, because they set out, you know, when Voyager was about to wind up, they sent out the message that Voyager's ending, and we invite your ideas for the next Star Trek series. So it was, you know, Paramount's initiation of that idea, asking people to submit their suggestions. And so the fans, you know, in their good sense and good taste and vision, took up that invitation and started up this campaign. And particularly this guy in Cleveland, Ohio, Russ Hasselage, gave real leadership to that. And they mounted a fantastic campaign. They contacted me and asked me to endorse their effort, which I did. And I thought surely, I mean, particularly after Star Trek VI, I mean, it just seemed to be an open segue into Captain Sulu series, you know, ending with Captain Sulu and the Excelsior going off like that. And then I love the way Star Trek VI ends with the autographs of everybody signing off, you know, and this is our farewell, this is our final film. And so the obvious thing, the clear and very, well, I mean, expected thing to happen was, I thought, a Captain Sulu series. Somebody up at Paramount is dense, or, you know, has no, or malevolent. They had no intention of going with the Captain Sulu series, and they did the very opposite thing of what Gene Roddenberry had envisioned. Always looking forward, boldly going to new adventures, making new discoveries, you know, new explorations. The series that followed Voyager went backwards, going to it's not a prequel, but going, you know, back in time, so that you lose all of the things that Star Trek had of the shock of the new, you know, the discovery of new technology, the discovery of new civilizations, discovery of powers that we never even dreamed of. You know, so you lose a lot of what the idea of Star Trek and exploration and learning, discovery was all about. So yes, it was a disappointment, but now we are where we are, and we are indeed now going into a prequel, and then going into another universe as well, with the same characters that we know and love. So we'll see where that track takes us.